We use pencils every day, whether it be working or putting it in our ears to make ourselves look smarter. But have you ever wondered the process that it takes for the pencil to come from all the factories to your hands? There are 5 simple stages for any product, including a pencil. The first being extraction, the second one being production, the third being distribution, the fourth being consumption, and the last one being disposal. Extraction is all about the resources and raw materials to start the building blocks of a product. For a pencil, we have 6 normal components and 2 packaging components. Here is the eraser. Here is the shaft of the pencil. Here is the glossy yellow lacquer. And here is the ferrule metal binding the eraser and the shaft together. Here we have the pencil lead, and here we have the black writing on the yellow coating of the pencil. For the 2 packaging components, there is the pencil wrapping, which contains five pencils in the cardboard box, and then we have the bigger cardboard box, which contains the cardboard box of 5 pencils. So what are pencils made of, and what are the resources required for each component? Well, for the pencil shaft, there needs to be cedar wood. For cedar wood, there needs to be trees, and these cedar trees can be found anywhere around the world. The next component is the pencil lead. This comes from graphite, and the graphite comes from an allotrope of carbon, and this allotrope of carbon is usually found in Sri Lanka. More on the pencil lead. The graphite is then mixed with wax and clay. The wax is usually found from bees, and it then comes from Mexico, while the clay comes from the Earth's crust, and it's found in South America. The next component is ferrule. Ferrule comes from copper and zinc. As we all know, these metals come from mining, but after mining, it is then found in Canada and Chile, respectively. The next component is the eraser of the pencil. The eraser is made up of three parts: the rubber, seed oil, and pumice. Rubber is made up of the rubber tree, and it is usually found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Seed oil is made up of seeds, and it comes from the oil that is within the seeds. And this is found in Indonesia. And the last part of the eraser is the pumice. The pumice is made up of rocks near volcanoes, and it is found in Italy. The next component is the glossy yellow lacquer. This is made up of castor oil. Castor oil comes from the castor plant, and this is usually found in India. The next component of the pencil is the black writing seen on the yellow lacquer. This is made from carbon black, and carbon black usually comes from incomplete combustion. And usually carbon black can be found in Texas. Now for the packaging components of the pencil, there is the thin cardboard, which holds up to 4 to 5 pencils, and this is actually made up of cardboard, and cardboard comes from recycled paper. The last component for the packaging of the pencil is the cardboard box, the big cardboard box. This includes, earlier what we saw, many of these small packaging of pencils. And just like this component, it is made of cardboard, and this cardboard comes from the recycling of paper. And as you all know, recycled paper comes from all around the world. In production, we're looking at who made it and where. Before, we saw all the raw materials which were made for the specific components. These raw materials are then transported into separate factories, and since there are 8 components to be made, there are 8 factories in which all these raw materials are transported to. Once all the 8 components are made, 2 for packaging, and 6 for the actual pencil. They get transported to one big factory, usually in America or China. This factory then produces what we saw earlier, a box including all the pencils and packaging for it to be ready and shipped. Distribution, the next stage, involves the transportation throughout the whole life cycle, whether that be land, sea, or air. When the components are being transported to one factory, all types of transportations are being used, such as trucks, ships, and planes. Once the pencil boxes are ready to be shipped, trucks like this is used for the pencils to be transported to shops all around the country. The transportation for when the pencil is being disposed is also a truck. This truck then carries all the trash of the pencil to the landfill, or the dump of all the trash. This is how all the different types of transportations are being used in the distribution part of the life cycle. The next stage is consumption, and who uses pencils. Almost everybody in the world uses a pencil, whether it be for fun, whether it be children in school, whether it be at work. When looking at the consumption of a pencil, almost everybody uses it. In the last stage, we see how the pencil is disposed, whether it is by trash or even by recycling. Luckily, most of the components of the pencil can be recycled. As for the trash, you can use a pencil until it is extremely small, but then you have to throw it in the trash. As we saw earlier, when the pencil is thrown in the trash, it is transported by a truck into the landfill. This is how the pencil is disposed of, from a big pencil all the way going down to a small one. This ends the life cycle of a pencil, but there are still the social and environmental impacts. Some of the negative environmental impacts definitely includes the chopping of trees during the making of the components. This large deforestation is extremely bad for the planet. And luckily, some of the components of the pencil can actually be recycled. So this is a benefit to the environment. As for the social impacts, the negative ones involve child labor when it comes to mining and also working in the factories. Thanks for watching the life cycle of a pencil.